Humans have moral obligation to protect the environment. It is our responsibility to promote sustainable development of the planet for the future generation. This includes our task to maintain the ecological balance that will keep check life on Earth. So in this info video, let us dive deeper to know the factors that affect humans' life on Earth. This is Group 5, presenting humanity and phosphorus.
Good day, we are Group 5, presenting our topic with the title of Humanity and Phosphorus. Our presenters are Paulo P. Gavino, Kenneth John B. Cajate, Maria Bernadette M. Oliverio, and yours truly, Mark Angelo S. Arceo. Is phosphorus important? What is phosphorus? Phosphorus is an essential nutrient for living organisms. It's a key part of nucleic acids like DNA, and of the phospholipids that form our cell membrane. The phosphorus cycle is slow compared to the other biogeochemical cycles such as the water, carbon, and nitrogen cycles. Phosphorus is found mostly in the form of phosphate ions. Phosphate compounds are found in sedimentary rocks. As the rocks wear down after a long period of time, the phosphorus they contain slowly leaches into surface waters and soil. Volcanic ash, aerosols, and mineral dust can also be significant phosphate sources, though phosphorus has no real gas phase unlike other elements such as carbon, nitrogen, and sulfur. When plants and animals excrete waste or die, phosphates may be taken up by detrivores or returned to the soil. When phosphorus-containing compounds from the bodies or waste of marine organisms sink to the floor of the ocean, they form new sedimentary layers. Over a long period of time, phosphorus-containing sedimentary rock may be moved from the ocean to the land by a geological process called an uplift. However, this process is very slow, and the average phosphate ion has an ocean residence time of 20,000 to 100,000 years.
So good afternoon, my name is Paulo P. Gavino, and I'll be discussing the anthropogenic effects. First of all, what are these? These are basically the influences or the effects that human beings have on the environment. Specific examples of these would be deforestation, overpopulation, and pollution. Now, what are specific effects for the phosphorus cycle? Specific effects would be detergents, fertilizers, and hogs. Now, why? First of all, detergents, the reason being is because they contain a specific compound named STPP, or sodium tripolyphosphate. It may cause the death of plants or fish which are involved in the phosphorus cycle, which means that the overall cycle will be affected by humans. So next would be using fertilizers or raising hogs or livestock, but to be more specific, hogs, because hog waste and fertilizers contain a high amount of phosphorus, which means that these phosphorus eventually get absorbed by the soil and end up affecting the whole phosphorus cycle.
Invasive species are organisms not native to a particular area or ecosystem that can cause economic and environmental harm. Invasive species compete with the native species in an ecosystem, disrupting the balance and quickly multiplies, further damaging the ecosystem. Human activities mainly cause the spread of invasive species, although unintentionally. Some common examples are zebra mussels and northern Pacific sea star. These two can attach themselves to boats secretly and spread throughout a boat's travel, and have already caused damage to lots of ecosystems. Introduced species are organisms that are brought to an ecosystem on purpose. Not all introduced species are invasive species, although some became invasive due to the lack of control and unexpected situations. A cane toad is an introduced species to lots of ecosystems as pest control. It has a toxic defense mechanism that prevents native predators to prey on it and has quickly multiplied, turning into an invasive species. Another example of it is the nutria. Originating from South America, it is brought to North America as a source of fur in the 1900s. It is now a major pest that destroys the habitat by eating the wetland grasses that secures the soil and prevents soil erosion. It is crucial to maintain the balance of an ecosystem as multiple factors affect it. A sudden change or addition can tip the balance and damage the ecosystem. Human activities such as deforestation and mining have caused organisms to lose their natural habitats, forcing them to move to other ecosystems and compete with native species.
So, how do epigenetic affects humans? Before answering this question, let us first understand what is epigenetic. Epigenetic in biology is the study of how your behavior and environment can cause changes that affect the way your genes work. Unlike genetic changes, epigenetic changes are reversible and do not change your DNA sequence. How does this work? Well, epigenetic changes affect gene expression in different ways. The types of epigenetic changes include DNA methylation, works by adding chemical group to DNA. Second is histone modification, regulators that control chromatin structure. And third is non-coding RNA, a molecule that is not translated into a protein. So, how do epigenetic changes? Your epigenetic change as you age, both as part of normal development and aging. First is development. Epigenetic change begin when you were born. All your cells have the same genes, but look and act differently. Second is age. Epigenetic at birth is not the same as your epigenetic during childhood or adulthood. Moreover, there are common known epigenetic changes that affect health. First is infection, known to change your epigenetic to weaken your immune system. This helps the germ to survive. Second is cancer. Some epigenetic change increase your cancer risk. The third is nutrition during pregnancy. Environment and behavior during pregnancy can affect and change babies' epigenetics.
Humans are also an organism of this world, and we have been a part of the world's ecosystem since the ancient times. The development of humankind has been impressive, but it has also caused damage to the world. We must remember that we are not the only organisms living in this earth, and that Earth is the only home that we have. To improve and maintain the quality of life that we have, we must take care of our surroundings and other species that live in them, in air, water, and land, so that all organisms in Earth may flourish.